Okay, so now we're going to be going over, we've talked about the structure of neurons in general, and so now we're going to be looking at some different types of neuron structures. You're going to see many of the same elements that you just learned, but you're going to see a bit of a variation in how these elements look. And so what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to show you this PowerPoint slide here and just ask you to take a minute to actually look at these 4 different neurons and think for yourself, what's different about each one? How would you recognize each one if it was just thrown in front of you and say, oh, this is this one because it's got X, Y, and Z. So I'd actually pause this lecture for just a minute, try doing that, and then come back to it and see what you came up with. So some things that I see when I look at it, here's the one that we started with that we've looked at before. And so this one has a big cell body right here. The cell body is right next to these dendrites, and then it's got one very long axon coming off. Okay, but the cell body is to one side. Whereas you notice with these two, well, the cell body's right in the center. But what makes this one different from this other one? Well, here it looks like the cell body is off to the side, where in this one that cell body is just smack dab in the middle. Now over here on the left, you notice there's actually no axons. There's no long tentacle, no long extension coming off. And so this one, it looks like it's all dendrites, no axons. So let's go ahead and put some names with these different neuron structures. And so this one is called a multipolar neuron. The one where the cell body is off to the side in the center is a unipolar neuron. You can even think of that. You've got one long extension that's just not interrupted, so uni. Okay. Here's bipolar. This is the one where the cell body's right in between 2 long extensions. And this one is called anaxonic. An meaning without, and then an axon. So the name literally means without an axon. Okay, so let's look at the functions of these. So it turns out this one, structure's a little strange. They don't completely understand exactly what it's doing. There's a few clues that they may have, but they're not completely certain. This one, bipolar, is just for special senses, so sensory but special senses. Most of your sensory neurons are going to be these unipolar neurons. And then multipolar neurons, if they have a function, it'll be motor. Also, a lot of your interneurons are multipolar. So, if we move here back to our notes, okay, if we put the different types of neurons, we're going to have sensory neurons, we're going to have motor neurons, and we're going to have interneurons. Okay? And if we match those with structures, sensory, most are unipolar, but special senses are going to be bipolar. Motor, most of those are multipolar, and then interneurons are mostly multipolar. Okay, so those are the different neuron structures, and as usual, there are some activities down here at the page for you to test your knowledge of these concepts.